Brother, you stated that the Amorites do not pay for their actions on this planet after death. That the spirit and soul just dissipates. Now the question is, according to the Quran, right? It says that on that day we will gather the guilty blue-eyed together. Okay, meaning for judgment. I see there's a discrepancy there, and could you clarify that for me?
If you read the verse 2102, read the verse yourself, 2102 of the Quran, and see what it says.
Chapter 20, verse 102. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And it reads, on that day when the trumpet shall be blown, and we shall gather together the guilty blue-eyed on that day.
The point being, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have already declared them as guilty, to read a verdict on an individual that's being tried, you follow what I'm saying? If I say read the verdict, it's either you're guilty or you're not guilty. If you're not guilty, you will be released. If you're guilty, you will be sentenced, correct? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran 2102 that on the day when the trumpets are blown we shall gather together the guilty, does that mean that they're going to be judged or that they were previously judged and found guilty according to that statement?
That they've already been found guilty.
So if the devil has already been found guilty by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before he was even in the earth, then he cannot be judged again, because it's given to each man once to die and then he will return to us. The devil can't be judged twice for the same sin. You understand?
Okay, well, I'm addressing also the physical devil here.
That's right. This is the same devil. There ain't but one devil. It's not but one devil. We try to create two devils, we're going to have another problem. It's not but one devil. You were created in an angelic form. All human beings were created as a soul first. And that soul is an angelic state. And it manifests through spirit and then incarnates as body. The devil himself was also once an angelic being, the scripture said, who fell from grace and passed that spirit on into body. That's why in the Bible, in Genesis, they speak about the seed of the serpent, the woman's seed and man's seed. Human beings are so afraid of facing the reality that the devil brushes wings with them on a daily basis. They want to make the devil something other than physical so that they can feel safe from him. The devil walks and talks and eats and drinks and drives and laughs and writes and reads like every other mortal being. Nothing spooky about it. And remember, if they were just angelic beings, there'd be no need to assemble them on the day of judgment. He's telling you, when that trumpet is sounded, when Raphael, the angel who blows the trumpet, all the devils will be gathered. Revelations confirms this when it says the devil and his host will be cast into the lake of fire, and there they will abide forever. And the false prophets and those who got the mark of the beast with him, all of them will be cast together. You follow that? The devil has already been sentenced to eternal damnation. That's why he tries to set up his heaven right here on earth. You follow that? He knows there is no life after death for him. He knows from here they go into eternal damnation. The Quran calls him the fuel of the fire. Okay?
Yes, that's what I wanted to, that's the clarification that I wanted.
When you first walked to the mic, you said the Imam made a statement that the devil's soul and spirit. No, the devil does not have a soul. He even admits he doesn't have a soul. When he refers to Latino, he says we have salsa. When he refers to black people or Negroes, he calls you soul people. He never refers to white people as soulful people. And they have a difference in the languages that they use. We have alma and spiritus, or ruh and nafs. And in Hebrew it's nafakh and rash. One of them is soul and one of them is spirit. They're two different things. European people have a spirit. They do not have a soul. This is why they're not in tune with rhythm. They've actually changed it. And let me correct something here. For those people who are saying, well, there's white people with soul now. There is no white people with soul now. They have not learned how to dance to our music. What they have done is they've made niggas cross over and create their music and call it black music. All the music you're listening to now are on white rhythms, so now you think that people like George Michaels and them can sing because they have changed the music. There's no more black music out there. That's the real deal. Or they're in the studio using computers and metronomes to duplicate through a system called total recall. When a black artist goes into a recording studio and lays down tracks and they store it in a computer, when he walks out they put a disc in and they punch up a total recall and they get all of his formats, and then they use those formats to keep producing songs for black artists. It's all a trick. He does not have no soul. Like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the devil cannot be reformed.
Right.
Next question is, for those of us outside of the community, how do we prepare for death, the physical death that you spoke of?
There's basically no difference between you people outside the community and the people inside the community. Anybody in the community that makes you think they're nearer to Allah is a hypocrite. You follow what I'm saying? You people outside the community, if you have your faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're trying to live by the laws, you're just as much a Muslim as anybody walking around in a white drape or robe professing to be righteous, and out there as you see him doing all kind of devilishment. You see brothers on the street selling oils and incense and all kind of stuff. We tell them not to sell. They do it anyway. You see brothers on the train begging for money. We tell them not to beg for money. They do it anyway. They don't turn it in. They stick it in their own pocket. We encourage people, don't give these beggars money and don't buy oils and incense from them unless it has Ansar Allah's logo on it. Otherwise, they're sticking it in their pocket. Those brothers outside parading around up on Fordham Road or wherever like they're righteous Muslim because they have white on are bigger hypocrites than people out there they're pointing the finger out who are sincere in their heart but may not have on a veil or may not have on a jalabiyah. So don't fall for that psychology. Those are the biggest hypocrites. Like the Quran says, the real desert Arab is the biggest hypocrite because he's supposed to know better. Well, the Ansar Allah people in this community are bigger hypocrites than the people they're pointing the finger out there. You come in at your pace. You come in when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you to come in. Don't go by their laws. And if you die on the outside, that's between you and Allah again. That's the choice you'll have to make if you're outside the tabernacle. But you make that choice. Don't let nobody else make it for you.
Shukran. That's the exact answer I was looking for. But in addition, as far as the physical preparation that the brother Imam just addressed some time ago, that's basically the answer I was looking for. What do we do in terms of that type of preparation?
No one can prepare themselves to die because no one knows the hour or the means by which they're going to die but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his angel Israel, the angel of death. No man knows. And if he surrenders himself to death, then he's committing suicide, which is one of the gravest of sins. So there's a contradiction somewhat in mantradanship in Islam. To make a man a martyr is to be willing to go out and die. It's in a quiet form committing suicide, which is very disturbing in America because whenever people speak about the Ansar Allah community or any other Muslim group like the Nation of Islam, they always refer to us as a sect, which is fine, or a cult, which is even a compliment. And then they try to equate us to Jim Jones, and your mother and father say, don't go in there because they're going to make you commit suicide. First of all, there's never been a history anywhere of a massive suicide by Muslims under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Noble Jew Ali, Clarence 13X, Warif D. Muhammad, or Sunnis or Ansar. Jim Jones was a Christian minister.
Right.
Christians commit suicide because their doctrine teaches that Jesus was willing to go to the cross and die. You don't hear about Muslims committing suicide. There's nothing in our doctrine that says, go kill yourself because there's blessings in that. That's not Islamic. That's Christianity that says, go die on a cross because there's blessings in it. And I'm not saying that to insult Christians because Jesus, the Messiah, did not die on a cross. That you'll find they fabricated from the 22nd Psalm about the story of David. They fabricate that whole story. Read the Bible, the 22nd Psalm, and you'll see the story of crucifixion is referring to David and not Jesus. It starts off, my God, why have thou forsaken me? And this was written thousands of years before Jesus was born.
Shukran. I should have completed my statement. when I mentioned the preparation for death, I wasn't trying to give the illusion of or an indication that suicide was in mind. But if someone died, a Muslim died, whether he's outside of the community, their family preparing them for burial. Okay, he said we had 48 hours to be placed into the ground before rigor mortis was set in. And if so, how would one outside of the community?
I wrote a whole book on funeral rites of a Muslim. The book is a total book was written. Tells you how to wrap the body, how to spice the body. It tells you all of the traditional laws that go down from the prophets to this day, which does not change. The laws of the Creator don't change. Men change. So those books are still out there, and you people in the street, if someone dies, can read the book and give the same funeral rite. It does not have to go through the Nubian Islamic Hebrew Ansar Allah community on Bushwick Avenue for you to bury one of your relatives in righteousness. You follow what I'm saying? That's why I put books out, so that every individual be his own leader. We've been being led by people for too long. Time for us to learn how to lead ourselves.
Different ethnic groups. Did Allah send a prophet to them? Because when you said nation, a nation of people, I thought it was just a few of them knew the truth, not a nation, because you know the media has a way of tricking a lot of people into believing something else.
There's many sacred societies, from the Shriners to the Masons to the Alhambra to the Knights of Columbus to the Order of the Elks and the Order of the Eagles, and all of them fall under a certain name called the Illuminati. The Illuminati is a sacred society of Satan. You follow that? It has, whether it's Russian or American or white or Jewish or Japanese, all of these people have vowed loyalty to Satan, which is referred to as the principalities of darkness in the scriptures. Like you said, a lot of white people, you say, do not know they're the devil. A lot of Negroes don't know they're the devil either. Meaning, their way of life is such that they're emulating the devil so much that they're just as much a devil as the white man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You follow what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It does say in the scriptures, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And whether that truth be that you are the devil or that you are righteous, you're going to come to the crossroad in your life where you're going to have to make the decision as to whether or not you serve the Heavenly Father or you serve the devil. For no man can serve two masters, for he'll love one and hate the other. So believe me, 90% of the Europeans you encounter, they know who they are, whether it's defined in black and white to them or it's a feeling that's latent inside them. They know, like Paul said, that they prefer destruction to construction. The majority of the white race know who they are. The majority of them. And like I said though, a large percentage of black people are now Satan's children also, because they willfully go to the village to live. They willfully chase white women and white men. They do everything they can to give themselves to the devil because they've been subliminally taught that to be African is to be ugly. This is what the white man has taught Negroes. So when you open the Jet magazine, there's a whole bunch of light-skinned Negroes there. If you open the Ebony magazine, there's a bunch of light-skinned Negroes there. Any video you look at, the brothers singing there can be my complexion. He got this woman as light as he can get with light eyes standing there. This is all the works of the devil destroying us, because when he makes us dislike our own women, he makes us dislike our children, he makes us dislike ourselves, he makes us dislike our Creator. The devil has planned this. Then he got groups of people who call themselves Orthodox Sunni Muslims, and they go around promoting the devil's doctrine. You know, there is no racism. The problem with the American Orthodox Sunni Muslim is he can't read the language properly. He's reading translations. And even if he goes to somewhere like Egypt to study, he's taught to translate. He's not taught how to read. You follow? He learns Allah, God, Hajj, pilgrimage, Ramadan, fasting month. He's not told to look into the word Hajj or the word Rama or the word Allah in the roots of the Hebrew and Syriac language that it comes out of. If you tell the average Orthodox Sunni Muslim that Muhammad was an Israelite or Hebrew and followed Judaic teachings of Abraham, they would call you crazy. But it's a fact, because they've been subliminally brainwashed. But brother, don't illude yourself. More black people are worshiping the devil than you know, conscious and unconsciously.
I agree with that.
You follow? And that's our greatest fear, that our people are going over to the devil in leaps and bounds every day. Each day it gets worse and worse and worse in its subliminal seduction, and it's just outright advert seduction of black people. We're taught to hate ourselves. You follow that?
Yeah.
And believe me, black people hate themselves. That's why they sell each other crack.
Yeah.
That's why they'll sell. That's why they're out to kill each other.
Yeah.
Because we've been taught to hate our own image. That's the devil at work. We can be so compassionate. That's why it's easy for Americans to become Sunnis. Because we just refuse to accept the fact that the white man's the devil. And black people will come to me and say to me, are all white people are bad?
Yeah.
Now, no white person is going to a KKK meeting and saying, all the niggas is bad? They don't have it in them. I tell them like this here. The Quran tells us that the best amongst you is he who is the most righteous. And the Sunnis will quote that quote from the Quran often. And I say, now look at Mother Africa, the proper name being Nubia, and tell me what is the population out of 100% that are Muslim. And you come out with 90% of Africa are Islamic, of the Islamic faith. Yes? Mm-hmm. Now let's go to Europe. What percentage of the Europeans are Muslim? Is it 90? Is it 80? Is it 70? Is it 60? Is it 50? Is it 40? Is it 30? Is it 10 even? No. About 4% of them, of 100%, become Muslim or Muslims is a better word for them. Now, but what does Islam say? I made you the tribes and families that you may know about each other, and the best amongst you is he who is the most righteous. Now here's a racial statement being made right in the Kitab Allah. And Allah speaks in the first person singular and says, I have made you into tribes and into families. Right? That you may what? Ya'rafuna. Know about each other. Not ya'lamuna. Learn each other. That you may know about one another. And then he says, the best amongst you is he who is the most righteous. Now out of all the races on the planet, which race of people have accepted the will of Allah most? The white race, the Oriental race, or the black race? We got more Muslims in Sudan than all of Europe together in one black Islamic country in Nubia, Africa. One country. You follow that? But black people are so busy trying to get the white man in their life. They love him so much. And like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, why do they love the devil? Because the devil gave them nothing. The worse you treat black people, the more they seem to like you. And now we're in a day and time where black people are still loving the white man while the white man is still killing black babies. Still abusing us, and they still trying to love him. And when you go up to them and you say, it ain't about love no more, it ain't about hate either. But to tell me that love conquers hate, that's not true. Love does not conquer hate. Solution conquers hate. And the solution is the truth. Knowing who you are will conquer hate. Because I can't teach you to hate yourself if you know who you are. So every time a black leader stands up in America and tries to tell his people who he is, whether it's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Marcus Garvey or whatever, the white man encourages Negroes to eliminate him. In this case, now that we exist, it's the Orthodox Sunni Muslims. Bums like Siraj Wahhaji and project-dwelling Muslims who can't pay their rent, who spend their day and night talking about what Imam Isa is, or he goes on a whole lecture speaking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, meanwhile he can't even pay his rent. Destroying a nation. There's no white men standing up talking about Imam Isa. There's no white organizations talking about Minister Louis Farrakhan or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's Negroes trying to be Arabian. Trying to act Pakistani. And I warn these people, I said, them Saudi Arabians have sold their souls to the devil. Every year they have massive sacrifices over there. Every year for the last 5 years, if you check the media, you'll find out that masses of people on pilgrimage are getting killed or slaughtered. Y'all better wake up. It ain't about who is the devil. It's about who is not a devil nowadays. We got to find out who amongst us is not a devil, because there's a whole lot of black people walking around who have given themselves to the devil, and they call it being Christians or Jews or just being nice people by telling me and you that all white people ain't bad. I'm not concerned with all white people and all white people not being bad. I'm concerned with the white people that have the power to miseducate our people. Those are bad. And the ones who sit back and accept that bad education, they're just as bad. Meaning the white folks that will let white people misinform black people and then tell me and you they ain't no racist because they're one of the professors in the university and they say I'm not no racist, but they see that curriculum is racist. Or the white man sanctions the autobiography of Malcolm X and makes it a textbook in school because it defames the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Or Roots, because it makes us look like we was a bunch of naked people jumping around, banging on drums and climbing out of trees. He'll make that a part of the textbook in the Board of Education in the United States. Why don't he make Message to the Black Man one of the textbooks? If you want to understand what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching, then make that a textbook. Don't take no book that shows that a black man betrayed a black man, namely Malcolm X betrayed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because some white Arabs butted him up in Saudi Arabia. And you're not going to fool this man because I was there in Jeddah when Malcolm X got there. I saw them brainwash him. And I watched him fall for the trick. And now they push Malcolm X out and got posters of him and people walking around with him on his t-shirts. Why? Because he symbolizes disobedience of black leadership. He symbolizes Uncle Tomism, whether you want to accept it or not. I respect the brother for that which he did, which is right. But when he turned against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and made public statements about his private life, one black man to another, that ain't supposed to happen. That's called table talk. We're supposed to discuss that amongst ourselves. You don't hear nothing about what the Klan leader's doing or what his family's doing. And if Jimmy Swagger didn't take pictures, he never would have got caught. That's the kind of day and time you're in. So y'all are wasting time trying to find out who is the devil. You better start trying to find out who isn't a devil amongst us. Because we're now betraying ourselves. Our own people are turning us in, assassinating us and killing us for principles. Stupid principles that they can't even find in the scripture. I don't like Imam Isa because he said the wrong thing. I don't like Minister Louis Farrakhan because he didn't agree with what I said. Well, I don't like this leader. That's a trick. That's a trick of shaitan to make us eliminate ourselves. If you're not a part of the solution, then you are a part of the problem. You understand?
Yeah.
Either you're a part of the solution or a problem. You better decide what side of the fence you're on, because nowadays, brothers and sisters, it's black and white. Either you with us or you against us. You know what I'm saying? There ain't gonna be no revolution. We're not falling for that. We know you manufacture the guns. We ain't going out and get a couple of handguns so you can massacre us on the street. No, we don't have to do that. All we got to do is stop feeding you our soul and you'll die. Because like all other stars, you get your strength from absorbing other stars. The white man is a dying star. That's why the scripture calls him a falling star. He's a dwarf. He's slowly but surely dwindling away. And he gets his strength by going into Puerto Rico and into Grenada and into Cuba and into the Dominican Republic and into Sandinista and gobbling up our people and controlling them. And he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. But nowadays our people are starting to wake up. And very few Negroes are still propagating white man supremacy to their kids. Columbus discovered America when it was already black Indians here. How long y'all gonna be listening to that garbage? Mary had a little lamb whose fleece or skin is white as snow. How long you gonna be believing that Jesus and Mary's story was white? They teach it to you when you was just a baby, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. They was teaching you that Jesus was white when you was a little baby in a nursery rhyme. Mary is Mary, Jesus' mother, had a little lamb, the Lamb of God as they call him, whose fleece, fur, or skin is white as snow. Wake up, y'all. Stop worrying about who is the devil. You better start worrying about who amongst us is not with the devil. Because we got a lot of niggas selling us out. Public Enemy just sold out the brother professor. They just sold him out because the Jews said so. Jews didn't like a statement he made, so Professor Griff was put out the group. How we let that happen? When the brother Jesse Jackson was campaigning, made mention about Jaime, everybody knows Jews run New York City. Let's stop pretending. He made a truthful statement, and then Jesse Jackson turned his back on Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was trying to back him just to please the Jew. Man, we better start checking out who amongst us are sellouts, because we ain't gonna get another shot at this, you know. White man ain't giving y'all another play. Once he suppresses this one, it's over. Once he can stop this. But fortunately for us, the Ansar Allah community pumped out doctrine and pamphlets and books and pictures and all kind of things to make us identify with ourselves inwardly first and then outward. So even if he destroys the head, he can't kill the body. Y'all are the body. If he eliminates the head, the body is going to grow a new head. We ain't falling for his philosophy. Kill the head and the body dies. Not this time, because the body is healthy enough to grow another head.
Right.
The head is not a man. The head is a doctrine.
Right.
That's what it says. Any man that prays with his head uncovered dishonors his head. Christians think that means a prayer cap. It doesn't. It says Jesus, the Messiah, is the head of the church. And Muslims better have and realize that Jesus, the Messiah, is their Savior and their only means of salvation. And I ain't talking about no white hippie looking boy like they got in them churches. I'm talking about, like they said, sardis, barrel. They described his color. His hair was like lamb's wool, and his feet is like burnt brass, as if it was put in the furnace. I don't know no wool with straight hair, no lamb with straight hair. He got curly hair, but a goat has that hair. So Jesus they're looking for, they better get them pictures of that hippie out. That's what Revelation chapter 13 is talking about when it says they're going to have you worshiping the image of the beast. They got you worshiping the image of the devil. So when you look up in church and you see that, what do you see in your church? You see a Jew. A shoulder-length hippie with a full beard, the same way you would see another Jew. That's what the book of Revelation is saying when it says it's going to have me and you worshiping the image of the beast, and we're going to give life to the image of the beast. Because Christian preachers stand up and say, Jesus is alive, Jesus is alive. But he never says the difference between life and death according to God. Do you mean Jesus is alive in heaven, or do you mean Jesus is alive on earth? So now you then took a statue that's on earth and saying that it's alive in heaven. You then gave life to the image of the beast. And when your children look up at that statue, they don't see you. They see the devil, the white man. When the Bible says that God said, let us create man in our image and after our likeness. And if you believe that you created in the image and the likeness of God, and then you look up in a church and you don't see your image and you don't see your likeness, then whose image are you in? If the image of God is a white man with straight hair, and you look in church and you don't see your image and your likeness, then brothers and sisters, the white man is trying to make you think you're the devil. Because if the image of God is what you got on your wall, then go look in your mirror and see if that's the image that you see. And if the opposite of good is bad, then the opposite of God is what? The devil. So who are you to the white man? That's subliminal seduction. That's brainwashing. That's been bred into us. That makes us hate ourselves. That makes us sell each other crack. That makes our women prostitute, and that makes men pimp those prostitutes, black men. That makes us dishonor our mothers and dishonor our fathers. That makes us what we are. The lowest of the low. The minority who's really the majority. The weakest people. We're the only people on the planet that don't have a culture, don't have a language, don't have a flag, don't have a national dress, a national meal. We don't have anything. We eat what he gives us, we wear what he says, and we pledge allegiance to any flag he flies above us. Right. The Italians can come to America and put up an Italian flag and paint their trucks their color, and it ain't racism. But the moment you put up a black, red, and green flag in your house, you must belong to some subversive militant group. But the Jews can fly a Jewish flag, the Italians can fly an Italian flag, the Irish have a green day where everybody dresses up in costumes like dwarfs and elves and marches down Main Street, but black men don't have that. Then they give you Black Month in the shortest month in the year. This is sickening. Everybody else got their nationality before them. You heard it before. Italian American, Jewish American, Polish American, French American, Irish American. Watch. American Negro. How come Negroes on the other side of America here, everybody else got their nationality on the other side? Irish American, Polish American, Jewish American, French American. Now watch. American Negro. How long is this going to go on? When are y'all going to wake up? And those in the room that I woke up, then I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to those people in here who came to scrutinize and came to criticize and came to look for the fault. Not the people in there that came to turn the lights on. Because the people in there that came to turn the lights on, you are part of the solution. Because you ain't falling for that. The black man in there that starts to see the black woman as attractive, you are no longer part of the problem. You are part of the solution. And you should write BET and say, and every artist that you like that comes on and puts on a video and asking, why is a woman all your videos got to be so light? And if you don't do nothing about it, there won't be no effect. If you stop buying their records, he said, I ain't buying no DeBarge records. Until DeBarge identifies with who he is. He's so crossed between the fence, he probably forgot what he is. That's real. Because nowadays, it's black and white, y'all. Wake up.
Yeah, Imam Isa, I want to ask you a question before you go. I noticed that in America, the Americans have a national anthem and a national flag. And also the black...
Let me interrupt you. The Americans have the British national anthem because that's where they got their charter. If you went to Britain and heard the British people do their national anthem, you'll find out it's the same rhythm as the American. They don't have their own because America, George Washington, and them were English.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they were nothing but the British over here, the leopards that they cast out. They sent them over here.
That's right. The black people also have a national anthem, or the black unconscious people, but they don't have a flag. I was wondering...
They do have a flag. It's the Mahdi flag. That black, red, and green, not red, black, and green. And Marcus Garvey got the flag from a man called Dus Ali, who was a Sudanese. Now they're trying to introduce, by bringing Nelson Mandela to the country, another flag. The Jamaicans, on the other hand, are trying to bring in the Ethiopian flag. See, this is to cause us confusion.
Yeah.
They don't separate the Sicilian flag from the Italy flag. They just give you the Italian flag. Our national flag is black, red, and green, not red, black, and green. That was a trick. By putting you in the middle when you should be first. The black symbolizes you, the seed of Abraham. The red symbolizes the blood that you have shed. And the green represents the land from which all human beings come from. If you put red first, then you're admitting that you intend to bleed some more. If you put black first, then you're saying as a body of people we are united and we will not bleed again. Right. Tell them to take that Jamaican flag and throw it away. You aren't Jamaican, you're not Trinidadian, you're not Haitian, that's all a trick, those are titles. You are Nubians. We have one flag and we must unite under that one flag like they do. And Europe, by the way, Europe is broken up into many countries with many flags. What's happening right now, though? They're tearing down walls. They're changing their commerce so there'll be one kind of money. And now you notice Germany got one flag. That's just the beginning. All the Europeans are uniting. Because they know that they are the minority and they have no power. Now they see that the Latinos and the Japanese and the Koreans and the Negroes are beginning to unite, whether they're Haitian, Jamaican, Aruban, Cuban, Dominican, we're all starting to become one. So now he's trying to make us fight the Koreans. So you have blacks fighting Koreans, we'll be against. They say, well, the Koreans treat us bad. They don't treat you as bad as you treat yourself by not owning that store. If you own that store, he wouldn't be there. He's in your neighborhood. The fact that you don't own the store, you deserve to be treated bad. If he's in your neighborhood selling you food, then that's your fault, not his. Do you understand what I'm saying? But Koreans are black people. Japanese are black people. Italians are black people. A lot of them just don't want to admit it. And 75% of the Jews are black. They don't want to admit it. If being black is a shameful thing, then it takes you back to the garden. The first attribute the devil gave you was shame. That's what he said to them. How did you know that you were naked? Did you partake of the fruit of which I forbid you to take? Shame, nudity. The devil taught us shame. And black people right now are ashamed to be who they are. They want to be Negroes, Afro-Americans, African-Americans. just say, I'm Nubian. And the white man knows the word Nubian means black. Not black in the dictionary sense of the word, because old Webster and them old slimes turned around and made the word black a bad word. Black, dark, swarthy, blackball him. Like Dr. Francis Welding, the sister said, on the pool table, all the balls are multiple color, but the white ball knocks all the other colors down and saves us for last, the 8 ball. And then when they say that, they say, what, you had an argument with your wife? Are you behind the 8 ball? We can't let you in this organization because we have black ball. We can't join the Masonic Lodge because you've been blackballed. Boy, it's dark and gloomy outside. It's a miserable day. Devil food cake is chocolate and angel food cake is white. A devil dog happens to be brown. Yet the white man who identifies dark as bad goes and flops his pink, no-color body on a beach and tries to get dark. I don't know no black people who go to the beach to get dark. He don't like us. He don't like our color. He don't like our hair. He don't like our lips. He don't like our nose. Yeah, he's getting silicone shots in his lips to get lips. He's getting his hair permed and rolled so he can have nappy hair. And he lays on the beach like a uncooked sausage and cooks one side and flips on the other. Until he looks black. And then his woman says, I love a tall, dark, and handsome man. So why don't she just say she wants a Negro? Why substitute for an imitation? Because white men are not tall, dark, and handsome. They're pale, short, stubby, and hairy. And you don't find that out until you go to a beach in America and you see them with hair on their shoulders. Then you start realizing he's an ape. I haven't seen too many black men with hair growing on their shoulder. I've seen them with hair on their forearm, and we have hair on our legs, but on your shoulder? You're dealing with the ape. And then the white man says the ape is a caveman. I don't know no gorillas that live in caves. Gorillas don't live in caves. And one black one wonder why we're not in gymnastics. How come we can't do the parallel bar like those white people? Because we're not monkeys, that's why. A sister did almost broke her neck 2 years ago in the Olympics. We can get good, but white people are always going to be better at you on swinging on things. It's just in them. We can outrun them, we can outjump them, but we cannot outclimb them. They have a new sport now where they go to clubs in Manhattan and climb walls. I don't know if you've seen it yet. They have walls up with little things sticking out, and they climb straight up the wall. And that's a new sport the white man has created. Isn't that amazing? And then he calls me and you a monkey. I ain't never seen a monkey with nappy hair yet. I've never seen a monkey with big lips yet. Monkeys have thin lips and straight hair. And if you shave the hair off a monkey, he's not black, he's white. Right. Black people are high-waisted, white people are low-waisted. If you look at a gorilla, he's low-waisted. I'm saying, let's put away the toys, y'all. Let's stop the child's play. We're running out of time. We're definitely running out of time. This man is spreading AIDS around this world and crack. He's trying to stop us because it's time for God to rule the world again. Time for you to come back to power. Like the brother said, Professor Griff, it's time for a black planet. You understand? I don't know where he's going to go, but he's going to have to get out of here. Because all he brings with him is mischief and disease and war and hate and separation. Ain't no black people responsible for all the wars. Were you responsible for the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Were you responsible for the Vietnam War? No. Who's the man who's responsible for spreading war all over the world? Who's the one who tested the germs that bred the AIDS disease? Black man or white man? Amen. Who's the one who was up in the mountains having sex with dogs called bestiality, which gave birth to syphilis and gonorrhea? White man or black man? White man. And why does the black man still love this thing? Why is the black man and black woman still trying to align themselves with this man? Now I sound like a hater of white folks. Imam Esau hates white folks. It's not that I hate white folks, it's that I love black folks. And if I don't identify with myself, we're going to be gone off this planet. He is trying to eliminate me and you. He listens to a rap record and he sees a young man who can't read and write stand up there and run complete sentences without even thinking. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm in the studio with him. I'm talking about guys who can't articulate, can't speak proper, but could get up and rap at a speed that you would not believe and make sense with every sentence. White people say, I want to learn how to do that. Well, we gave you the hustle, you turned it into the disco. We gave you the bus stop, you turned it into aerobic exercises. We can't give you hip-hop. You don't have the ability to do it. We can't give you rap music. The Beastie Boys ain't rapping. They're acting like comedians. You just don't have it in your faculties. Why? Because we are your mother and your father. We are your God. And like Farrakhan said, the white man has got to learn to honor his mother and father that his days may be long. Because if he persists on trying to destroy us, he will eliminate himself. Because it is not possible to destroy the black man. Because we are the magnetic attraction that keeps the universe in fit form. We created 9 pockets in space and beyond space called spheres, which gives each planet a radius to properly rotate around the sun. Energy, no matter, can be destroyed. Only a change in its appearance. You can alter the way we look, but you can never destroy us. We are the mothers and fathers of this planet and many other planets. We built the pyramids. Don't you understand that? We know the secrets of the Sphinx. You don't. Let's dance.
Imam me, someone ask one question before I go, if I can. The European man has his motherland. The European man has a place where he go every year, and that's in Europe. Thanks to you, I know who I am. I know that I was come out of Africa, North Africa, Sudan. But what's puzzling me now is that I can't take a trip like the European can when he goes to Europe. I myself would like to go back to the motherland where I was from, in Sudan, and visit my ancestors and stuff like that. Like the European man go and visit his ancestors back in Europe. Can you elaborate on that if you can?
Yeah, because when the white man goes back to Europe, you know what he does? He takes something. He takes the education he got here and he takes it over there and develops over in Israel. Black men go over to Sudan or to Egypt or whatever, and they go on a tour, and the moment they get over there, they're acting like Negroes. When you go back, you got to go back right and with something to give. You understand?
Yeah.
When the white man says, get out of America and go back to Africa, y'all with me? Are y'all listening?
Yeah.
When the white man says, niggas, go back to Africa, say South Africa. They send us back to South Africa where the gold mines are. Don't send us to no desert. We're not going. If you want to go home, go somewhere where we can benefit from our presence. Don't go there and become another burden. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.